How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today's topic is understanding your alcohol problem. And once you understand that alcohol problem, I think that you're halfway there to quitting, right? To getting over the line and to getting away from alcohol altogether. I think most of the time, as drinkers and as people who want to quit drinking, is we don't actually see what the real problem is, right? We blame the alcohol, right? We say it's the alcohol that's at the fault here, and all we have to do is get rid of the alcohol out of our lives, and that's it. Everything else is going to be hunky-dory. And in reality, if you take the alcohol out, you can replace it with another drug, and it's not going to do any good for you, right? Because it's the drinking thinking, is the habitual thinking of instant gratification, that you can get instantly gratified by taking a drug, or that this instant gratification is going to give you anything more than that instant gratification, right? Now, I know we all share this same commonality of alcohol, right? This is why we're all here, right? It's alcohol mastery is the name of the game. And all these videos talk about alcohol, but as I say, it could be anything else. It could be something innocuous that's in your life, like just watching too much TV. You watch too much TV in your life. I know people that spend hours and hours playing video games or watching TV, and that is just as much of a waste of life, although it might not be doing you as much damage physically as drinking alcohol would do. There's many people that would argue against that and say, well, it is causing you a lot of physical damage, because while you're doing that, you can't be doing anything else. There was a big thing there 10 years ago with the Wii, trying to get people up and out of their chairs and playing video games while they're moving around and stuff like that. But the most fun to be had on a video game is when you're sat down on your couch with a shoot 'em up, or you're doing something else, but you're sat on your couch eating crisps and drinking Coke and that kind of lifestyle. And I'm saying it's an instant gratification thing, Same thing. Where am I going with this? To go back on topic, to go back to the alcohol, one of the problems of people quitting drinking alcohol is that they just don't know what to expect afterwards, right? And that's where a lot of the fear comes from. It's where a lot of the failures come from, because people expect that just quitting drinking alcohol should be enough, that not going down and buying it and bringing it home and pouring it out and putting it into their mouths, that should be enough to change everything. And it doesn't change everything. It changes a lot of things. It takes out one of the damaging parts of the equation, right? But you're still left with the thinking, you're still left with the rituals, and you're still left with the behavior, right? And you've got to move away from that, from the drinking. You've got to move away from all that behavior. You've got to move away from that lifestyle. And you've got to leave so much of that behind you. You've got to change so much of it, and you've got to pursue other things in your life, right? You've got to move yourself forwards and get other things in your life, right? Pursue your dreams or pursue goals or whatever it is that you're going for. But you've got to have that big sort of something to aim towards that's going to pull you away from the alcohol and pull you towards something better, right? So with that in mind, I think some of the best time that you can spend before you actually stop drinking is in making preparations, right? In thinking about where you are now, how you got here, right? Thinking about your drinking problem from that perspective. When you started drinking, how it's progressed over the years, all the problems that it's caused in your life, right? Think about that, write down your thoughts. Then think about where you want to be, right? Where you want to progress to once you do stop. And like I say, that's half the battle. Once you get to that stage where you've got a lot of stuff written down on paper, write it down, because it's the best way of not only remembering this stuff, because you're going to forget it if you don't write it down on paper, but of provoking other thoughts, provoking other ways of thinking and sort of avenues of thinking about this. When you start writing down things, it's you're really focusing your energies and you're focusing your mind on one specific area. And it's when you do that other things start to pop up, and you start to think, well, geez, I never thought about it that way. Or, that maybe if you look at things in a different way, that it helps you to see your past in a different way, or to see your future in a different way. I'm just saying that if once you can sort of understand your problem, your own personal drinking problem. I mean, I can talk to you till the cows come home, right, about what my problem was, but it's not going to be the same as yours, right? Everyone's got different problems in their lives because of the alcohol. Everyone's got different problems in their lives, period, right? But, you know, a lot of the time you won't do as much as you should be doing towards solving your problems or moving yourself towards the place that you want to be in your life because of the drinking, right? So the drinking is a double-edged sword, right? It's stopping you from doing some of the things that you should be doing, and it's also preventing you from, it's also creating a lot of problems as well in your life. So I'm just saying, if you spend a lot of time before you stop drinking just thinking about where you are now, thinking about your own drinking problem, you know, thinking about it from the perspective of your environment, the people around you, how it's evolved over time, and think about how it would have evolved if you hadn't stopped. I mean, this is going to help you so much on your journey forward. So I'll leave it there until next time. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. If you have any questions, I'll leave them down below. Until next time, onwards and upwards. Take care of yourself and keep the alcohol out of your mouth, eh? Good luck to you. Bye now.